The day the forest took its revenge. Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by thick, ancient forest, people lived in harmony with nature. They respected the trees, the animals, and the spirits that watched over the land. But one day, everything changed. Because someone broke the rule that had protected the village for generations. This is the day the forest took its revenge. In the village of Umuaka, everyone feared Ala Undu, the forest of life. It was said to be alive, breathing, watching, remembering everything. Parents warned their children, do not take what you do not need, do not cut the sacred trees, and never, ever hunt in the heart of the forest. Most villagers obeyed, except one. His name was Obika, a proud, stubborn hunter who believed no spirit could ever frighten him. To him, the forest was not sacred. It was only a place for meat, money, and glory. One evening, Obika returned from the forest with a giant antelope slung across his shoulder. The villagers gasped, the elders whispered, because the animal Obika carried was one no man had ever touched. It belonged to the forest guardian. Elder Nwakama stepped forward trembling. He warned him, Obika, the forest marked this one. Return it now before the guardian comes looking. But Obika only laughed. Is it not an animal? Did I not kill it with my own strength? He ignored the whispers. He ignored the signs. He ignored the fear. That night, the wind howled like a wounded beast, and the trees rustled as if whispering his name. Obika, Obika. At midnight, the forest responded. The ground trembled lightly. Leaves fluttered without wind. Birds flew from their nests, screeching into the night. Then, a deep, haunting sound echoed from the forest. You were warned. The villagers hid inside their huts, trembling, but Obika was asleep, snoring proudly. Suddenly, the flame of his lantern flickered. His door creaked open on its own. A cold, unnatural wind swept in. And slowly, branches began to crawl across his floor like living snakes. Obika awoke abruptly. A tall figure stood in the shadows, its body made of twisting vines, glowing eyes, and roots shaped like limbs. The forest guardian. Its voice sounded like cracking wood. You took what was mine. Obika stammered, trembling for the first time in his life. I didn't know. The guardian stepped forward. Ignorance is not innocence. Branches wrapped around Obika's wrists, roots crept up his legs, the earth beneath his feet split open like an angry mouth. Obika screamed, "Please forgive me!" But the forest had waited long, and its anger was deep. The villagers watched from afar as Obika was dragged into the forest. His screams echoed through the night. Birds scattered, animals fled, the trees bent inward as if swallowing him whole. And then, silence. The kind of silence that chills the bone. The next morning, the elders gathered. They found Obika's hunting spear, his torn wrapper, and nothing else. The forest had taken him, and it wasn't finished. For 3 days, the villagers heard strange cries coming from deep within the forest. On the 4th day, Elder Nwakama and a group of brave men went to the sacred grove. When they reached the heart of the forest, they froze. In the center stood a new tree, tall, twisted, and strangely shaped. Its bark had the outline of a man's face, a familiar face, Obika's. His eyes seemed frozen in a silent scream. The elders bowed. The forest has spoken. After Obika's disappearance, the villagers changed. They no longer cut trees carelessly. They no longer hunted without need. They taught their children the story of Obika's fate, and every year they left gifts at the forest's edge, yams, cola nuts, palm wine, to honor the guardian who protected the land. From that day on, no one ever dared to challenge the forest again. Some say Obika still stands in the forest, his spirit trapped for eternity, a warning to all who disrespect nature. And the villagers learned a lesson that remains true even today. Nature is patient, but when it rises, its revenge is unforgettable. If you enjoyed this powerful African folktale, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Gozy Folktales for more emotional and mystical stories every week. Tell us in the comments, do you think the forest was right to punish Obika?